top position, which means that the Silver Rabbits can swoop in and seize the advantage to become the strongest party in the country. This all confused Vince a little, as he couldn't understand why would an incredibly talented enchanter agree to a joint raid in a dungeons where he has little to gain. Selma replies that most of the times the support mages are not given the fame that they deserve, and yes, she is famous, but that's just because her moves were flashy enough to catch their eyes, while the truly strong mages are left in the darkness with no renown of their own. She snaps back to reality when Orhan speaks up and asks to confirm that there are going to be 10 parties of rookies heading into the dungeons and 5 escorts, including Selma and himself. The rookies will deal with all the monsters in rotation, but if something out of the ordinary happens, the escorts will jump in to make sure that the rookies remain unhurt. He does find one thing confusing though, and asks why are there only 5 escorts? If their idea is to make sure the rookies have a safe experience, why not hire multiple A-rank parties instead of 5 separate S-rankers? Selma replies that the only reason they are not doing that is so that the rookies also experience the stress of going through a dungeon and not overestimate their abilities. Orhan doesn't really believe her explanation at all, but knows that they won't reveal their true motives to an outsider who is not affiliated to any clans. Regardless of that, Orhan decides to accept the quest as he has nothing better to do anyways. Vince seems happy about it and claims that he will be paid 2 gold pieces in advance and 10 more at the completion of the task. This surprises him a little as he asks whether it's not too much, as that's basically a year's worth of money, but Selma replies that they value him a lot, and that's why they want to make sure he is sufficiently compensated. Orhan thanks them and promises to meet them the next morning, and hoping for the best. The next morning arrives soon, and Orhan arrives at the entrance of the dungeons where he finds a bunch of new adventurers waiting for their journey. He soon finds Sophia and Selma ready for the adventure and compliments Selma on her outfit, which annoys Sophia, and she again reminds him that she is a minor. Orhan tells her to chill out a little, as he is not a fan of Michael Jackson either. Sophia asks where is he living right now, since earlier he used to live in the mansion owned by their party. Orhan replies that he is currently staying at the inn, but soon he will find a proper place to stay as well. With that, Orhan looks around and claims that everyone seems to have arrived and maybe they should start their expedition. Selma agrees with that and tells Sophia to join her party before leading Orhan towards the other 3 recruits in charge of making sure that the journey goes smoothly. Selma introduces Orhan to the others, claiming that he is incredibly strong and that she trusts him. The other 3 escorts immediately welcome him. While introducing themselves, the blue-haired guy named Ant claims that he is a tank, and the blondie named Byrne follows suit, claiming that he is a tank as well. The final short-haired girl turns out to be a healer named Kathy. Orhan immediately realizes that he is a front-line attacker and Selma the enchanter, which make this a very well-rounded party of escorts. But he wonders what was their plan if he refused their offer to join. He thinks that there is definitely something fishy going on, but decides to push on for now and see how the things unfold. Soon Selma collects all the Rockies in one place and introduces them to Orhan, claiming that they have gotten an incredibly strong helper for this journey, so they don't need to be scared about anything. She claims that Orhan has been to the 94th floor, which even she has yet to do, and he used to be the part of the heroes party itself, which makes him one of the strongest people in the country. This really hypes up the newbies, who immediately feel much more confident about this journey. But so much pressure starts making Orhan feel a little intimidated, since he now knows so many people are basically counting on him. With that out of the way, she tells the remaining escorts to take control of their parties, while she tells Orhan that he is going to lead the 10th party, which is the most promising one amongst them all. And she believes that with the right guidance, they can easily deal with even the middle-level dungeons. This again is a little confusing for Orhan, as he wonders why would she give the star party of the bunch to him, who is supposed to be an outsider. Regardless, he moves towards the 10th group and realizes that Sophia is in the same group. He asks whether anyone in their party is late, since he can only see 3 individuals, but a blonde boy named Logan claims that only the 3 of them belong to this party. This is a little out of the ordinary, since 3-man party is pretty rare, but the blondie replies that there are only 3 in the party since no one can keep up with them anyways. He claims to be the leader of the party, claiming that he is an enchanter who is going to become even better than Selma herself. Orhan immediately realizes that this boy has an attitude problem and wonders whether it will come to bite him in the end, but he moves ahead to the second girl for now. The girl introduces himself as Carol, who is a tank, but Orhan notices that she doesn't seem to have any armor on. He asks whether she will put it on once inside the dungeon, but she replies that she doesn't use any shields or armors. Orhan asks whether that means that she focuses on dodging more than blocking, and Carol replies that he is correct, as she doesn't want any monsters to touch him. Dodge-type tanks are pretty rare, as they usually use their incredible speed and skills to dodge and counter-attack the monsters up close. But that requires actual combat experience that this girl definitely doesn't have. He asks whether the clan didn't warn her of that before. But the blondie replies that the clan told Carol multiple times to act like a normal tank till she gets experience, but she simply ignored them. Orhan soon realized that this might be the star party, but at the same time, this also seems to be the problem party, which the escorts didn't want to deal with. Soon after that, the expedition finally starts, and they all enter the dungeons. Carol doesn't stop talking for even a moment, and continues hounding Orhan about why he left the party, and he doesn't know how to shut her up. Their journey continues smoothly for now, thanks to Orhan setting up magical traps behind them that automatically deal with the lesser monsters, as he doesn't want to spend time on useless battles. Finally, they arrive at the 20th floor, and Orhan now has a better idea about his party. He realizes that the blondie is not all talk, and he actually has a substantial amount of skills as an enchanter, and can easily operate at the level of an A-rank party if he continues like this. But he is bad at giving directions, which is very important for an enchanter. Carol is incredibly fast, which she would need as a dodge-type defender. But there are two problems with her. She rushes directly at the monsters without a second thought, when her primary role should be making sure their party is defended. And the second problem is that she uses two tiny daggers as her main weapon, which do fit her style, but might now have enough destructive powers when it really matters. Sophia is the weakest amongst them all in terms of raw talent, but she is still above the skill level of a total rookie, and doesn't have any major flaws, which makes her the most rounded person in the group. At the end of the cave, the escorts manage to defeat the level 20 floor boss, which means that they can move ahead to the 21st floor, which was their goal for the first day. After registering their ID cards as a proof for completion, they head out for the night to get some rest, and continue onwards the next morning. When Orhan wakes up the next day though, he is devastated to find a newspaper, and on its front page his picture is posted for everyone to see, as the heroes party officially declare that they have kicked Orhan and have hired a new enchanter in his place. This hits him harder than he thought it would, but there is nothing he could do about it. So he moves outside to meet everyone else at the dungeon, wondering whether the rookies would behave differently after reading today's headline. On the way, however, he is stopped by a blue-haired girl who turns out to be Luna, the healer of the heroes party. He remembers how even during his last days, when everyone else was behaving coldly towards him, Luna was always smiling at him and ready to help. The day when he was kicked out, she was out on an errand. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been so easy for the others to push him out of the party. Luna immediately grabs Orhan's hands and begs him to come back, claiming that she will find a way to make the party understand how much they need him. She brings up their promise of clearing the Great Dungeon together, but that only pisses him off, as he declares that the promise was made by the three of them, together, including Oliver, and he is the one who kicked him out of the party. With a wounded heart, he turns around and tells Luna that he is never going to come back to that party ever again, and moves ahead towards the dungeon entrance. On the way, Orhan thinks about how he was banished from the heroes party, and that's what the newspaper clearly mentioned today, which means that all the new recruits probably are confused about what to think of him anymore. Especially considering that Selma hyped him so much for being from the heroes party, but now the truth came crashing down. He soon arrives at the dungeon entrance, where he finds all the rookies waiting to go in, but the entire energy has completely changed, clearly meaning that every single person here has already seen today's newspaper. The newbies talk amongst themselves about the fact that Orhan isn't in the heroes party anymore, while Logan thinks about how it would have been a different thing if Orhan left the party out of his own volition, but the fact that the paper clearly stated that Orhan was kicked out of the heroes party for being too weak completely changes everything. Orhan tries to greet the rookies, but he gets a mixed bag of a response from them, realizing that he is not as welcome here as he was just yesterday, all because of some stupid newspaper headlines. Just then, Selma arrives alongside Ant, Byrne, and Kathy, and immediately apologizes to Orhan for causing a misunderstanding, since she was the one who kind of pushed the fact that he used to be in the heroes party to put the rookies at ease. Orhan immediately tells her that this is no fault of hers, and she should hold her head up as high as ever, and lead the party into the dungeons while he provides support. Ant, Byrne, and Kathy chime in, claiming that it doesn't matter what the issue is between Orhan and the heroes party. The fact remains that Orhan is one of the very few people alive in this world who have gone to the 94th floor, and live to tell the tale. This gives Orhan some relief from the constant scrutiny, and he heads towards his party where Sophia and Carol bid him good morning with all their heart, but Logan seems to be a little hesitant and doesn't know how exactly should he treat Orhan. Orhan decides to break the ice himself and asks his party whether they saw the newspaper today, and both Sophia and Carol replied that they did see the newspaper, but it's not worth reading since it's full of lies. Logan, however, doesn't subscribe to Fox News, so he is used to hearing the truth and asks Orhan whether the newspaper told the truth. Orhan replies that technically the newspaper is the truth since he did get banished from the party on the account of him being too weak according to the other members of the party. He apologizes to them for not telling them about it from the get-go, claiming that he is not really the hero that everyone expects him to be. Sophia can't handle it anymore and replies that he is not telling the truth, claiming that he is super strong as she saw him take on a huge horde of orcs all alone and defeating them without breaking a single sweat. Orhan thanks her for believing in him and tells the rest of their party that even though he is not a party of the hero's party anymore, he is still capable enough to easily help them reach the 51st floor, and asks them to believe in him. The girls seem to be content with that, but Logan seems disappointed as he feels like he was betrayed. They soon enter the dungeons, and this day, the recruits are supposed to go from the 21st floor till the 35th floor. But even now, he is not supposed to give them any orders or guidance and just stay back and observe, only jumping in if things start getting too out of hand. Their journey continues smoothly as Carol deals with all the monsters on the 24th floor with the help of her twin daggers and her up-close and personal fighting style, while Sophia manages to deal with the bigger monsters on level 30, surprising even Orhan, who wonders whether he underestimated Sophia a little. Soon they move on to the 31st floor, which are the middle floors, and that means that now the rookies are in unknown territory and need the advice and help of their guides who are with them. This time, Orhan takes the lead and walks ahead of his party, making sure that nothing out of the ordinary is hiding on this floor, when he suddenly feels the presence of a bunch of goblins ahead and tells his party to get ready to fight. He also realizes that a stray orc has also seemingly wandered in the same area, which might make